Hey guys, I just got the new patch notes, so I finished my stream early so I can record this off stream because I cannot share this publicly when I'm recording, and I can release it, well, you will see it now on YouTube, obviously. So the patch notes 908 are as follow. We're gonna go through them together and I'll tell you my opinions about them. So here we go. This is 908. Welcome to the start of episode 9 act 3. Let's get into it. The previously announced sunset changes are now playable, which is on the servers tomorrow for us in Europe on Wednesday. Also playable is our newest team deathmatch map called Glitch. Other updates in this patch app include a map rotation change, Yoru's fake out now interacting differently with certain agent abilities. Yoru buff! It wasn't needed. Updates to Gekko's abilities, aka Globals, aka Redivores, aka Gekko's Besties, and more. So let's read what's happening. With the Gekko, we already talked about this on stream, but we didn't know if it's true, so now we have confirmation. Gekko, as you have mastered Gekko's utility since his last buff in 7.12, we've noticed that his core play pattern of using reclaiming his buddies has little to no downside. Which is something, by the way, that I spoke about on day 1 of Gekko release. If you guys were watching VCT at that time, I literally had a small guide during the VCT segment in EU when I showed how to play Gekko, and I literally just first day of Gekko, I showed how you like throw it up on ascent in the specific spots and so on to make it easily reclaimable, and which is basically meta. And it's still gonna be because this doesn't affect it. So, Dizzy and Wingman are each getting improvements to their overall reliability to reduce cases where you hear or see them target and debuff an enemy, only to find that the enemy is unaffected. These changes are targeted at addressing inconsistent behavior rather than a direct power increase for Gekko. Dizzy is in a healthy state in terms of how often how often you successfully engage in its shooting counterplay, but we feel that Dizzy holds space and angles for too long. And I agree with that, actually. Additionally, given Gekko's overall number of plants and diffuser with Wingman, trash is available too frequently for its impact. We hope these changes don't widely affect Gekko's place in the ecosystem, but instead put him in a healthier, long-term place. Now, his globules, so when the utility is on the ground, is now, they are only for 15 seconds on the ground instead of 20, which is a good change in my opinion. They were way too long there for him to reclaim it. And reclaim time increased from 1 second to 1.5. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the 1 second reclaim was nothing. It's literally nothing. Like, people couldn't even react to you picking that up. Now, with this change, you have actually a reaction time. I know, 500 milliseconds, not much, but in this case, it's actually big enough change to peak the Gekko when he's picking it up, when he's picking up the utility. Dizzy. Time active after being thrown and foaming is reduced from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. So like the reversal of the reclaim time, right, on the util. So essentially, when Gekko is throwing the Dizzy, it's the amount of time where the Dizzy is in the air and is active before it goes limp and just goes. You guys know how it works, right? So now it's gonna be just 1 second. And it's a huge change, in my opinion. It's actually a huge change. You might not think it's big, but this number actually is a substantial nerf to his flash. So this is gonna be huge. And I think this is actually a bigger nerf than his ultimate orb that we're gonna talk in a bit. This targeting algorithm has been updated to be more reliable. So less no blinds, I guess, when someone is moving away. I don't know. I don't actually know exactly how it's being affected. I guess it's a projectile, so you can still whiff when someone is moving. We'll see in game. Dizzy's goop flash now also blinds the minimap of the affected player. So you cannot really try to kill someone by looking at the minimap, which is okay. But at the same time, I hope they will finally fix the spectator mode bug. Not the bug, but like feature, where someone is blinded by Gekko, we should see. The spectators should see through the blind. Just put it like an outline, but show us that someone is blinded by Gekko, but make us see what's happening. It's a terrible viewing experience. Wingman. Increase an angle of cone of concuss area from 45 degrees to 65 degrees. When Wingman turns into a global after planting, the spike does a unique visuals. Oh, okay. The second point is not important. The angle, though, that's a huge change. 45 degrees to 65 degrees. Now it's very hard. It's going to be very hard to actually dodge it from up close, which was very doable when the Wingman was literally next to you. So this is a very big buff to Wingman. Very big buff to Wingman. So pretty significant nerf to Dizzy and pretty significant buff to Wingman. But again, there's a bug with wingman when it's planting and you destroy the wingman while it's planting, the audio cue of wingman planting is still playing. And there's nothing about changing this. So I have to, I guess, speak again to the developers about it because it's a big bug. Trash, so it's ultimate of Gekko, got his points increased from 7 to 8. Now, I think it's an okay change. Probably needed this change. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be as impactful as people think. Because on attack, Gekko always plants. Unless he's dead. But he's always the person to plant. So he gets those orb a lot, right? So this change is going to be impactful for his first ultimate. But will not change for the entirety of the half. I think he's still going to ult 3 to 4 times if the game is average. And the only thing that will matter here is that I'm guessing he's not going to have an ult on round 3 as often. And that's a pretty big nerf. But I still think the biggest nerf is the DZ duration. So overall, I'm not happy for the Gekko mains because they are hurt while the other duelists are just running rampage, you know? 9.10 bringing those Phoenix changes is nuts. Yoru getting a buff for no reason. I'm a Yoru main player and I think he didn't need the buff with the flash, with the duration of it. He doesn't need this buff, but I think, okay, thank you. Various abilities were not showing effects on Yoru's fake out clone, which made it too easy to discern it from real Yoru. We're going through abilities in the game and making sure they interact properly with Yoru's fake out. So blind abilities like Gekko's DZ and Vice Arc Rose will now display the blind effect on Yoru's fake out clone as if he was real agent. Okay, Vice will play her successful blind celebration lines when blinding Yoru's fake out clone. Cypher's neural theft will show the Yoru's fake out clone, and Clove's medal will now show the DK effect on the Yoru's fake out clone, so the grenade from Clove's. I mean, it's a very insignificant buff, but it is a small buff, so I guess thank you. Sky and Jet. Jet's Tailwind and Sky Trailblazer will no longer stop at the window in Ascent. Instead, they will burst through and continue movement on the other side. Which is actually significant change when you think about it. So yeah, that's actually pretty big. You're now able, like if you play Sky and you go towards short and you do the dog through short and go to tree and go to short, you can go jump through the window. No one has to destroy it for you. So that's pretty good, you know? Okay, cosmetic updates. We've made some updates to several scope reticles to make them more clean and less distracting. Here's a list of the updated skins. Araxis Operator, Valiant Hero, Reaver, Gothic. Thanks, Derke, for the feedback. Map updates. Introducing Glitch, Valorant's newest team deathmatch map. And I'll be honest with you, I think the map looks pretty cool for the team deathmatch stuff. Like, this one actually looks like might be the most decent one from all the team deathmatch maps, so let's check it out when it's gonna be there in the game. A 5v map that puts you in a dual themed arena. This is the 5th TDM map that takes place in the glitched out Maxbot arena. Glitch is playable via the team deathmatch, blah blah blah. Map rotations. Pearl and Sprit are back in competitive queue. Icebox and Lotus are out of competitive queue. Guys, if you want to complain about the map pool being bad, it was not the point when we had Breeze and Icebox together in the map pool. It is now. We're gonna have Ascent, Split, Sunset, and Pearl together. I mean, let's focus on the Split, Ascent, Sunset. Those 3 maps in ranked are almost unplayable because people have no idea how to attack the game. So all of those 3 maps are gonna be so strongly defense based. It's gonna be insane. I'm not looking forward to this map rotation. I am definitely not. I like Pearl and I like Split, but I just know that it's gonna be such a pain in the ass to play it in this map pool. It's gonna be, oh my god. And then we exchange 2 attacker-based maps into 1 defender-based map and one who's gonna be like 50-50, I guess. But my opinion about Split is that at a pro level, at like the best level, I'm not talking about just any VCT level, but at the best level of VCT, the best teams that play Split, the map is attacker based. But for anyone else who has less knowledge, less synergy, the map becomes very, very defender based. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to the next map pull. It's gonna be a dreadful experience in ranked, I think. Hopefully I'm wrong. All right, now when it comes to Sunset, I spoke about the changes to the map already in a previous video, so if you want to watch that, I'm gonna link it. But link it in the description. And I spoke about those changes. I still don't know how they will actually look in real life because we didn't get those changes yet in the server. So I'm gonna make a new video tomorrow going onto the map and actually looking at those changes from first person perspective and see how to change your util on Cypher and smokes because of the changes on the map. So look forward for that video tomorrow. And then we have bug fixes. Abyss. The spike will now spawn correctly at B danger if it falls off the map. B danger. So that's the pillar, I guess, with this small, like, you know, when you jump like on a Mario level. Okay. Premiere updates, that's not something that interests me at all, so whatever. And bug fixes in Premiere. Fix an issue where you would see a competitor crest after playing a practice match on a brand new team despite not having earned any points. Yeah, that's like whatever. Okay, so that's everything. This is everything they're gonna have in 9.08. Hope you guys enjoyed my rundown. Again, if you want to hear about the changes in Sunset, there's already a video about that released before, like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And I'm gonna link it again in the description. Tomorrow we're gonna make a video about the actual Sunset changes in game with how they affect utility. Let me know what you think about the video. If you have any questions, I'll definitely answer to your questions. Bye bye.